Arrays, they're a variable that stores multiple values of the same data type. So for our examples, we're going to be working with integers. However, you can have characters, strings, whatever you want stored inside of here. You can basically have one variable that stores multiple variables inside of here. And you can go deep with this. You can have arrays that store objects, that store just there's a crazy amount of stuff, but we're gonna keep it simple and stick with integers. So you can see that we have int, and this is just the name. So this is the data type, this is the name. We need these brackets right here in case we don't input any data on the right hand side, like line 15. We can still specify the size because arrays are fixed size. When we declare the array, we have to declare the size. So this is going to do it explicitly, or this will do it implicitly. You might be wondering, well, what is inside of our array if we have 5 spots here? They're all going to be filled with zeros until they're specified with something. We can modify every index, that's what these are called, and then the values at the index are what we can replace, we can initialize, we can do whatever we want with them. So let's see, number 1 right here. We would say that this is the value 1 at index 0. Looking at the next one, we would say we have a value 2 at index 1. In the middle right here, we have a value 3 at index 2. And that's because the length, when you talk about length, you typically start at 1, so you have 1 through 5. But when we talk about indexes, we start at 0. So index-wise, we have 4 spots inside of here. The total size of an array, if we were to use the size of method, is the number of bytes stored for each element in there, and that will change depending on your strings or integers, whatever you have inside of here. You can access the variables many different ways. So you can pass in a index value, so that's going to be 0. That'll give us a 1 here. So the value at index 0 is 1. That's essentially what it's saying. Give me whatever value is at index 0. For that, it's 1. We can also pass in a variable. So in I is equal to 4, this is essentially saying give me the value at index 4, which is going to be this 5 here, or this 5 when we run it right here. What else do we got? Well, we can also choose the max from this ARR2. Now, we haven't put anything inside of it, so they're just going to be, I said they were zeros. Well, I guess they're ones. You can actually write a for loop, so we'll do for int a is equal to 0. We'll run this as long as a is less than 5, and then we'll have a plus plus. Now inside of this for loop, we'll just do a cout, and then we're going to get the specific index at which this for loop is incrementing on, and then we're going to end the line. So let's try running this, and if we do that for our first array, ARR, it's going to print out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can see right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now if we change this to ARR2 or not, this is a bit interesting. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, I just checked. And it turns out that in C++, the recent version, if you do this, it is going to just assign random numbers, completely random numbers. But there's something you can do to fix that. If you do just all want zeros, like you don't know what you want to declare initially, well, what you could do is set this equal to 0, like this. You can just have 1 0, and then if we run it, you can see that it's going to print the zeros. And boom, it prints the zeros. That's one way to fix it. You can specify elements as well, like let's say we want the first one to be 1, the value 1, and boom, it'll print 1 and the rest zeros. So as long as you have something, anything in here, the rest of the values that are not filled in will be zeros. If you don't have anything, like if we again have an int ARR3 and you just have some size in here, it could be absolutely anything. You don't know what it is. So that's great that I learned that. If you have any questions about this basic arrays, we're going to look more into arrays in the next videos, but if you have any questions on what we covered so far, leave a comment below. If you like this video, sorry for the little mix up there. If you still liked it, leave a like, and check out more C++ videos in that playlist link below the like button.